Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's your favorite dream drive here, and we're about to dive into the adventures of supercars. Before we proceed, please like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Today we're diving into some of the funniest and most disastrous car mechanic blunders you've ever seen. Buckle up, it's going to be a bumpy ride. From mismatched tires that'll make you dizzy to oil changes that look like a Texas oil spill, we've got it all. So sit back, grab a wrench and get ready to laugh and cringe at these epic car repair fails. Now, I've seen some things in my time, but this one takes the cake. Picture this, a car rolls in, looking all innocent. The owner just wants a simple tire rotation, keep things running smooth. But little did he know, he was about to become the laughingstock of the whole town. This so-called mechanic, and I use that term loosely, decides to put two different sized tires on the front. I'm talking monster truck on one side, and a donut spare on the other. Can you imagine the look on the owner's face when he drove off? I bet his head was spinning more than the tires. This ain't rocket science, folks. You gotta match your tires or you're gonna have a bad time. It's like trying to walk in two different size shoes, ain't nobody got time for that. And the worst part, this poor guy probably drove around for days before he realized what was wrong. I bet he thought he was going crazy. So next time you're at the mechanic, do yourself a favor and check those tires. You don't want to end up like this guy, trust me. Alright, let's talk about oil changes. Every car needs them, but sometimes they can go horribly wrong. I'm talking oil spills that would make BP blush. This one time I had a guy come into my shop, his engine smoking like a barbecue pit. Turns out some genius forgot to put the oil cap back on after an oil change. Now I don't know about you, but I like my engine oil where it belongs, inside the engine. This poor guy's engine was drier than the Sahara Desert. Oil was everywhere, splattered all over the engine bay, the underside of the car, even on the ceiling. It was a mess of epic proportions. And the smell? Let's just say it was enough to knock you out cold. The moral of the story is this. Always, and I mean always, double check your work. That oil cap is there for a reason, folks. Brakes, gotta love them, especially when they're not screeching like a banshee. But sometimes you get those mechanics who couldn't install a brake pad correctly if their life depended on it. I'm talking about the kind of mistake that'll make your ears bleed. This one time, I had a lady come in with her brakes squealing louder than a pig at a pig roast. Turns out, some knucklehead had installed her brake pads backwards. I mean, come on folks, it's not that hard. There's a right way and a wrong way to do things, and this was definitely the wrong way. I swear, some people just shouldn't be allowed near a wrench. The poor lady was mortified. She said she couldn't even drive down the street without people staring at her like she was crazy. I don't blame her. So the next time you hear some strange noises coming from your brakes, don't ignore it. Get it checked out by a professional, and for crying out loud, make sure they know which way the brake pads go. Spark plugs, those tiny little things that make your engine go boom, or in this case, pop. Now I've seen some spark plug mishaps in my day, but this one takes the cake. I had a young fella come in, his car sounding like a popcorn machine on overdrive. It was misfiring so badly I thought it was gonna shake itself apart. Turns out some amateur mechanic had decided to get creative and use the wrong spark plugs. I'm talking lawnmower spark plugs in a car engine. I mean, seriously? Who does that? It's like trying to put a square peg in a round hole. It just ain't gonna work. The poor kid was beside himself. He'd just bought the car and thought he'd gotten a lemon. I had to break it to him gently that it wasn't the car's fault, it was the mechanic's. So remember folks, when it comes to spark plugs, stick to the ones that are made for your car. You don't want to end up with a popcorn machine on wheels. Car batteries, they're pretty straightforward, right? Positive to positive, negative to negative, well, not for this guy. This story takes the cake for sheer boneheadedness. I had a guy tow his car in, completely dead as a doornail. He swore up and down he hadn't left his lights on or anything, so I popped the hood and what do I see? The battery's hooked up backward. I mean, come on folks, it's color-coded for a reason. Red for positive, black for negative. It's not rocket science. This guy managed to not only fry his battery but also short-circuit his entire electrical system. I'm talking lights flickering, dashboard going haywire, the whole 9 yards. It was a miracle the car didn't burst into flames. I had to explain to this guy, very slowly, how car batteries work. Let's just say he won't be making that mistake again. So remember folks, when jumping a car or changing a battery, always double check those connections. You don't want to end up with a car that's more fried than a chicken dinner. And there you have it, folks. Remember, always double check your repairs or you might end up in one of these videos. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more car tips and laughs.